So the PS5 Pro was announced last week, and over the weekend, of course, more and more of what was going on was like very just kind of going through the fan base. And a lot of people arguing amongst themselves, should you get a PS5 Pro? Should you not get a PS5 Pro? What does the PS5 Pro mean to the future of video game consoles? That's the biggest thing. And that's the thing I really want to hit on, because a lot of people kind of ask me, like, Rob, why are you so concerned about PS5 Pro and if people buy the PlayStation 5 Pro? And here's my short answer: it doesn't really bother me what people spend their money on. I mean, I spend my money on pretty dumb things that people would consider stupid things, but the reason why I care so much about the PS5 Pro situation is because whatever happens is going to drastically affect gaming console market moving forward into the future. If this thing is massively successful, if Sony succeeds and people actually run out and spend $700+ including tax, depending where you are in the world, this thing is a massive price increase, like all over the world. This thing is just a massive price machine. And if this thing is successful for Sony, in my opinion, it tells Sony that they can pretty much set the price of whatever console they want and is going to sell, because there's a certain core fan base that regardless of what they charge, they will buy. Now, I was one of those people in the early 2000s that did spend $600 for the PlayStation 6. But and again, people look at me like, "Hey, that's stupid. That's crazy." It was backwards compatible with PS1, PS2, and played PS3 current games. The problem I'm having with the PS5 Pro is, as you can see, it's very little upgrades. Now, this is a comparison between the PS5 Pro and the Xbox Series X. I'm not comparing Xbox to PlayStation right now. That's not what I'm doing in any means. This is not an Xbox versus PlayStation. This is a PlayStation versus PlayStation video. And I'm just scrolling through the comments here. And again, a lot of people are just kind of like baffled by the price that Sony has set for the PS5. And that comes to my biggest fear, and that is what's going to happen with the PS6. So that's what I'm afraid of. If the PS5 Pro sells and it's just a mid-gen refresh, and this thing sells at $700 base, if you want the disk drive, there's people already scalping the disk drive, which is insane. So this thing is going to cost anywhere between 800 and up here in the US. What is the PS6 going to cost? And that's the biggest problem, right? People bought video game consoles because it was a cheap alternative to PCs. People didn't want to go out and spend thousands of dollars on PC, worrying about upgrading and all that different stuff. But now with PlayStation 5 coming out at $700 for the Pro model, and this is just a mid-gen refresh, and I just want to point out once again that the increase in quality that you get is very minimal, right? It's very minimal, where people are just posting memes where it's like it's the same picture, and again, this is my biggest problem: is there's so many memes going on for a minimal upgrade, and what this is going to mean for the future. We're at the point now where we're sort of like at the point of diminishing returns when it comes to what these games can look like. The only thing you can do is really make these games resolution look clearer, sharper, and run better with a better, higher FPS. And I was telling people, like people close to me, most of them have converted over to PC gaming. I actually converted over to PC gaming this generation because I felt like this generation was just a massive letdown for me personally. I think the PS5 and the Xbox Series X were just massive letdowns. I think both companies really just kind of promised a lot of different things, and neither one of the companies really delivered in my point of view, from my opinion. You look at something like Final Fantasy 16 exclusively on the PS5, and the game just did not release well. Like it barely hit 60 frames per second, really didn't look all that good. I will be picking it up again when it does hit the PC. Same thing with Rebirth. So both companies really kind of let me down this generation, and I decided, hey, I'm going to start PC gaming a little bit more, and I basically game almost exclusively on PC gaming unless I am playing retro games like on my 360 PS3 or something of that nature. But both this generations have really let me down, and I feel like them just saying, hey, we're going to do a mid gen refresh, and really giving you stuff that they promised to begin with. That is the problem. Like, PlayStation promised all this stuff at the beginning of this generation. All we have really gotten was just remasters and remakes of PS4 games or older. You know, they gave us The Last of Us, which was a PS3 game, and they just remastered it for the PS5. A lot of these first party games, Ragnarok, Forbidden West, they were also on the PlayStation 4, and a lot of these third party exclusive, like whether it be Black Myth, Wukong, and all that, you know, it's also on PC, which you get the better experience. So both consoles, both Xbox and PlayStation, has extremely let me down this generation. And this is not a console war situation. It's about trying to give enough information to a viewer to make the right choice. You know, like, I have a brother-in-law I live with, and he's really young. He's in his early 20s, and I try to give him enough information, like, look, you know, you get a PS5 Pro, like, this is not really going to do what you really want it to do. You know, if you're just playing Madden or NBA or something like that, this is not, the PS5 Pro is going to do nothing for you. And for those that play a lot of story-driven games like I do, I play a lot of story-driven games, you know, PC is really the way you want to go. Now, I do own a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, and I kept those consoles for the exclusives. The Xbox in general is basically just non-existing because Microsoft just releases everything over on the PC, so I just play it on PC, get a better experience like I did with Hellblade 2. But I keep my PS5 around because, you know, they do have Final Fantasy exclusives and all that stuff, and I really want to play those exclusive day one. But for the most part, the PC versions of these games are always better. Now, people are sitting there saying, you know, you can get a PC for the same price as the PS5 Pro. That's not entirely true. You can. It won't be as good as the PS5 Pro, but by the time you pay for the disk drive and the tax and then the stand and all that, you can put like maybe $150 extra and get a really good PC. Now, my PC I got 4 years ago, my gaming PC, and it was 16 gig RAM with a 2080 RTX GeForce RTX 2080. It was a really good card, and I could run games much better on my 2080 than I could on the base PS5. And then I decided, since I've been playing so much PC games, that I'm going to upgrade. And recently I upgraded the RAM. I upgraded it to 64 gigs. I updated the SSD, gave it an additional 2 terabyte SSD. And I went out and got a new graphics card. I got the 4070 Super TI. So I upgraded everything. And my PC right now is much better than any of the consoles. It was my 2080 was already doing better than the consoles, right? I could play Hellblade 2 with my 2080 and play it really much better than I did on my Xbox Series X. But I wanted to get like the highest frame rate, the best resolution I possibly can. I'm not going to get like super 4K native or anything, but I can get 1440p. I can get 4K, 60 frames per second. I can get up to 160 frames plus, depending if I play 1440p and so on. So PC really kind of lets you have a large variety of different things. And I think that's my biggest thing when it comes to PS5 Pro. A lot of people say you can't get a PC for that price. You can get something similar for around that price, if not 100 more. But where PC comes in that is better than the consoles is the PC. You can go in and make those settings whatever you want. So if you're someone who doesn't care about 4K and you just care about frame rates, you can easily just dip that thing down to 1080p and run at 160 frames per second, if not more. Whereas the PlayStation 5 Pro, they're really just kind of focusing on, hey, we're going to give you the fidelity and the performance mode together. You don't have to choose on and off. And the problem with that is, like I said before, is that yes, that GPU is going to be 67% larger, but the increase in what you're getting is not really noticeable enough to justify the price tag. That's my biggest thing. And I just want people to kind of know and lay everything out. Is like, I don't care what you spend your money on, right? I'm not sitting here watching your money. You spend your money on whatever you want to spend your money on. You work hard for your money, spend your money on whatever you want. I just feel by doing this, we're going to set the wrong message. We're going to send the wrong message to Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, and like, hey, you can charge whatever you want for these consoles and we're going to pay it. And there comes a time where spending $800 to $900 on a possible PS6, that's really kind of crazy and kind of ludicrous when you think about it. Like the PS5 Pro is not giving you enough upgrade to justify that price point, and that's really the biggest problem, is the fact that it's not justifying that price point, not the price itself. I don't care about the price itself. It comes down to what they're offering for that price, and for that price they're not offering you hardly anything, and that's where the real problem lies. So if you're someone who's thinking about getting it, I highly recommend just hold off a little bit, wait, because not only are you not getting enough performance and resolution for the price point, but the PS6 is going to be right around the corner. You're better off just taking that $700, wait it out, and get the PS6. If you're someone who really cares that much about resolution and performance and you want to get some real noticeable, you can go get a PC. You can go on Best Buy, type in iBuyPower. You can buy pre-built PCs starting anywhere from $1,000. By the time you pay tax and disk drive and all this stuff for the PS5 Pro, you can just drop an extra $100, get a gaming PC. With Steam, they have all your sports games now. Like Steam is really kicking it out of the park. You're getting your PlayStation games, your Xbox games, you're getting your sports games, your wrestling games. Everything is on Steam. You can download Steam and just put it in big picture mode, and it runs like a video game console, which is really cool. It has achievements, voice chat, all that stuff. So really, if you're that concerned about resolution and frame rate, then save your money, save it for the PS6, or upgrade to a gaming PC, which will set you for the next couple generations if you take care of it, and then you can slowly upgrade as you go. I just think a lot of people that are, buying the PS5 and they're doing it just for clout, just to say, hey, look, I got a PS5 Pro. That doesn't make you seem cool. That really makes you seem like, well, you're kind of setting the wrong message to these corporations. These corporations do not care about you. They care about your money. They don't care about you. They care about what they can sell you. And that is the biggest problem. And by doing this, we're going to run into an Apple situation where Apple can release the new iPhone, don't have to have any cords or anything like that, and then charge you like $1,500 for the phone itself. So that's really the biggest issue going on here, is not that, oh, you should not buy this console, you should buy this console, is what it means if you buy this console. Because by buying this console, you're sending a message to the corporation that we can charge whatever we want, and then we have dumb people out there that will buy it. There's always going to be a group of people out there that's going to buy the next big tech. That's always going to be there. But for the average person who uses it and you're just playing like sports games, or if you're not, let me best example. Unless you're playing first party Sony exclusives, there's no point in even getting it at all anyway. It's mostly for people that want to play The Last of Us for the millionth time and have a little bit clearer picture in the background. If I have to zoom in with a microphone or with a microscope, then that tells me I don't need that console. So I don't know why anybody would want to spend that much money for a clearer picture of a game that they played a million times. I don't know. I can get Last of Us on PC, get a better experience on PC. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it, guys. Just rambling on a little bit more. But yeah, the PS5 Pro thing, this has sort of been like my like obsession, because I just don't understand why people just can't see the obvious right in front of them, that they are literally getting screwed and they don't even care. They want to support this company for either fanboyism or clout. I'm not entirely sure, but it's the wrong message to send. And I highly recommend, if you are someone who cares about these sort of things, look into PC gaming, because you might be surprised. It's very much like console gaming now. So anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out, sauerkraut. Until next time, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. Later, guys.